These particular photos we're looking at were taken on the morning of January 23rd, 2008. It is of one of the perpetrators who has, on some of the several occasions to get me to open the door so that they could do something to me without the evidence that would be left from actually, breaking the door open. That he's the one featured in all of these, sitting in one of those gang-stalking vehicles directly outside the apartment. In this case, immediately on the other side of the fence there, actually you can see some of the changing shape light energy beings in the vehicle. I guess I became familiar with that term, LEBs, as I call them, but now we know better what they are. And we could also see him do basically another thing that these perpetrators have done on several occasions, including the most familiar Navy surveillance minivan driver, the more regular one at first, of appearing to change their face. So they look like they have their faces basically pressed right up against the extra targeted individual's window, etc., and their own driver's window, etc., and they make it look several times like a stereotypical reptilian alien face. I don't have the best scientific knowledge of how LCD screens work, but something interesting that I'd be happy to show that other people can probably upload or have uploaded with their similar footage is that on the LCD screen for the Nikon D40X, in any case, when looking, for example, at the nearest street lamp that has some kind of device, camera or projector looking device rigged to the top of it, and looking out into the sky, I have now found that at least it shows some hot spots flashing that are completely non-random. They're in the shapes of what I was previously referring to as light energy entities or something like that, using a vague term because I really wasn't sure what they were, except for things that seemed to have a certain either actual life force of their own, whether electrical or what have you, or electrically based, or else to be projected into different dynamic shapes and so forth, as if they did. The good news, I think, for people, I think everybody will think this is good news, unless they thought they had a friend in one of these light energy beings, is that these are apparently projected. And so these hot spots where they are being projected are flashing, that basically between being blacked out and showing whatever color is being projected by the perpetrators. In the close-up of the window, they even have managed to, using the different angles, and you can see how some of that light is manipulated in the same shot, with what even looks like kind of almost like a reflective mirror type projector underneath a huge ball of light in the sky that may or may not actually be the sun. They've made it look like his face is just basically there being reflected immediately within this residence's window. This would potentially have some humor to it, except they do this to extra targeted individuals around the clock, combined with all these other assaults on every aspect of their health and serenity and ability to just have a life and concentrate and so forth. And they have, in my case and many other cases, caused severe health damage, including neurological and heart damage, and in some people's cases have just caused a heart attack. This area is known to be concentrated in activities that are categorized as Santeria and voodoo. Where I'm at, specifically in the Bronx in New York right now. And so basically the good news, along with the stories that these people tell to, the people, the poor children that they start really brainwashing from the time they're, born even, by then or even before. The good news is that basically this all relies, or I would say at least most of it, the vast majority relies on their ability to continue abusing advanced military technology. The bad news is our government has so far not shown proper inclination to make this stop, rather than to actually keep funding these horrific people in these atrocities.